chewing on my sheets, young lady. Alright, we'll see if anybody comes on. We might talk about stuff, we might not. I'm gonna sneeze, aren't I? Knew that was coming. Hi, Noodler. My little sweetness. Well, come all the way into my lap, my little sweet. There. And then I'll hold you. What's wrong? Hi, Serenity. How are you doing? Little Noodler is tired, in case you can't tell. You're good. Just relax, Noodle. Relax. But I'm good. How are you? I just thought I'd hop on. I started writing a post that I'm going to do on Facebook. But I leave it, like I try to write it and then leave it, come back another day, reread it, edit it, come back another day, reread it and edit it. Yeah, where'd you go? But so I'm trying to edit that. I just wrote it out tonight, so then tomorrow I'll try to reread it and edit it, just because I want to make sure it makes sense, because my brain doesn't really work like normal people's brains, which is frustrating. Okay, frog legs. What do you want? Hey, why don't you lay down? You went to Central Pennsylvania? Nice. Whitney's not here yet. Geez, y'all come here for Whitney and not me? What about Noodle? Hey. That's right. Lay your butt down, child. Do you need to go to the bathroom? Is that why you're fidgeting? I'll be right back. I think she needs to go to the bathroom. I know, I hear you. You did just take a little bit of a nap. Good girl. Good job, Noodler. All right, now that we're back, you didn't eat your yogurt pop, and I'm very upset. I'm just saying. Okay, I am back. The little Noodler is taken care of. Oh, so you talk about me behind my back is what I'm hearing. Wow. No, I'm kidding. But okay. What were you doing in Pennsylvania, though? It's like mostly spammers in here. If I had a way to play music right now, I absolutely would. But I don't have a way to play music right now. But I wanted to talk about a topic that I started writing about. I was telling Whitney, or not Whitney, Serenity about that. McNoodle. McNoodle be chewing on stuff. So the topic, Peter, thank you. Who's Whitney? Give it a minute. She'll be here. So the topic is what I put the name of the live. So the topic is there are no stupid questions because I've noticed one of the things that I feel is a detriment in the equine industry nowadays is everyone says there are no stupid questions, but when you go to ask certain questions, you get treated like you're stupid. Everyone says there are no stupid questions until you ask a question that to someone else is obvious or shouldn't be asked, because if you have to ask, you don't have morals or whatever. And I put in a couple examples. One of them was relating to my puppy, because I asked in a group how to take care of her coat, because I've had German Shepherds my whole life. I'm a big dog girl. That's what I like. I like a dog that if I take it somewhere, nobody's going to talk to me and nobody's going to touch me. And that's what I've always had. And exactly, the only dumb question is the ones you don't ask. But in the equine industry, unfortunately, that is not the case. Unfortunately, in the equine industry, if you ask certain questions, you get drawn and quartered practically, which, by the way, if you don't know what that is, you should look into it. It's horrifying. We all say that like it's not a big deal, but it was a big deal. It was very, very bad. The equine industry, so equestrians, horse people. So like some examples that I thought of. There's someone who goes around every once in a while and asks, it is ego. You are absolutely right. It is ego. Absolutely. No, that's the opposite is true. To not spare the rod is better. Yeah, well, equine equals horse. Equestrian equals horse person. I lost my train of thought. Oh, there's this person that goes along on Facebook all the time and posts the question, do you do the Texas T or do you use the holes on the Latigo? And you just noticed what? I'm tempted to put it on to subscriber only, but we'll see. But they ask, do you do the Texas T or do you do the using the holes on the Latigo? And people will get into straight up fights in the comment section. Like the people that say Texas T will that they do the Texas T say, well, if you use the holes, you've just not ridden enough, so you don't know what it's like to have that break. And the people who use the holes say, oh, well, if you do the Texas T, you just don't know how to fit tack properly or how to ride. Instead of just saying, like me, I use the holes on the Latigo. That's what I do. I've done the Texas T. There's nothing wrong with that. But I prefer to use the holes because that's how the tool is designed to be used. But if you do the Texas T, that's okay for you. And there are so many equestrians who cannot say that, who cannot say, I do this, and if you do that, it's okay for you. Like, there's so many, I do remember you actually, Jen. there's so many people in the equestrian industry who cannot handle saying there is more than one way to, pardon the phrase, skin a cat. There is more than one way to do it. So another example I used was, and this one gets a lot of hate, almost as much as any of my hobble content. I had a lady come through an angry face react to all of my pictures of my horses being hobbled. Yep, exactly, Drew. They say that's wrong or that's abuse and blah, blah, blah. Instead of just saying, that's okay. That's just not how I do it. You know? Because does it hurt your horse if you do the Texas T versus using the holes? Nope. Not the hobbles. Exactly. But another one that gets arguably, I would say almost more hate, if not just as much hate, is hard tying versus the soft tying or breakaway ties. Those get so much hate. And if you ask, do you hard tie? They're going to say you're abusive because you could kill the horse. They could hang themselves. But if you breakaway tie, you don't know how to train a horse and you're lazy. Instead of saying, I do this, it works for me. I know a man who is one of the best trainers. His horses have been used in movies, have been used on Heartland. He's an incredible trainer, and he has a horse that doesn't get hard tied. Nobody can say that man is not talented. Nobody can say that man is lazy. That man is a hardworking trainer. He does a great job, but he has a horse that he doesn't hard tie. And it's not a big deal. On the other hand, all of my horses hard tie. I won't own a horse that I can't hard tie. Haven't had any deaths. But people will say it's cruel. You can't ask questions anymore in this world. I think that's why the equestrian industry is dying, is because we live in a world where everybody smiles and looks at you and says, there are no dumb questions, but then you ask a question and they treat you like you're a moron and you shouldn't own horses. Ooh, I would start a fight over that, Drew. Nobody is allowed to touch my horse but me, unless he's dying. If he's actively dying, then they can free him, but other than that, it's a horrible thing to say. I make jokes about traumatic situations to cope. Hopefully y'all know that. I mean, if you want to die, you can ride my horse, sure. But so I've been writing this post about how there are no stupid questions until you ask one question and then everybody treats you like you're dumb, or everybody treats you like you shouldn't own dogs or you shouldn't own a horse. And I think there are multiple things that are causing the equine industry as a whole to die. I think moral superiority is killing the equine industry. I think the people that sit there and say, yes, lively cuts, it's tying them to something so that they don't get away. No, it's not because it's expensive. It's really not that expensive. If you have work ethic and are financially not stupid, they're very affordable. I own horses. I own horses on my own, and I pay all the bills for my apartment. They're not pets. I mean, they are pets, but they're not pets. How exactly are we mean to horses? If you're going to make ignorant claims, you need to be able to defend them. No, they are domesticated. I personally domesticate wild animals because I do Mustangs, but horses in general are domestic and would die on their own. So that's actually factually incorrect. I mean, if you come meet me, yes, you can pet my horse. No, I don't have horses in my apartment. So what do I do with them? So I take horses that have problems and fix them and then resell them. Last year I sold my good horse Marvel. She was the best horse. But I had her since she was like a year and a half old. So I had her for a long time, so I was able to make her really nice. I sold Jackpot, who came to me with he was afraid of people because he had been beaten, and Blue came with the same thing. Blue's the one that was like almost dead. How are they not a pet? Well, I'm not trying to school you. I'm just saying they're not. They are a farm animal and an asset. You can call them a pet, but when you treat a horse like a pet, that's how you get a monster. No one's breaking the horse's will. That's ignorant. If you're going to come on here and try to make a judgment on people for doing something that they love, you need to at least have some facts. No one is breaking the horse's will. If the horse didn't want to, they simply would not. They are 1,000 pounds. I am 140. They can drag me to Timbuktu and back. I cannot make that horse do anything he doesn't want to. No one's breaking the animal's will. It's called training. Do you not train your dog? Do you just let your dog run around? It's abusive to own dogs now. You can't own dogs because you're breaking their will by owning them. That was funny, Mr. 313. I don't do Mustangs. I like Corvettes. No, horse owners should not be jailed. That's very ignorant. We're gonna put him in a timeout since he doesn't know how to act like an adult. I am a Chevy woman, though where you got that, I don't know. What do you mean, what is with wild horses? I'm sorry, Vatina. Because I'm reading. That's why I look so mad. Because I was reading. I tell people I have RBF and nobody believes me. Why, Leroy? If you're going to make sexist, ignorant comments, you should be able to defend them. How many push-ups can I do? I'm not going to answer that because it's a pitifully small number. Yes, Barbara. I'm not going to repeat it because I try to be a family-friendly channel, but yes. Why would I be mad about bucking horses? I like rodeo. Again, what is with all the ignorant people? Ego-tripping women own horses. So only women can be ego-tripping? Because I've met a lot of ego-tripping men who have been very insecure by a 24-year-old woman. Gimp, yeah, you can ask whatever you want. Exactly, Drew. You look like you can break a horse. Is that a compliment or an insult? Are you saying I look like a boy? Because then you're just tweaking on something I already have worries about, alright? Absolutely horses look different before we started domesticating them. Simply because humans ruin everything. And I do mean everything. Buckle bunny, you wish. I don't own a buckle that I haven't won. Why would I set the horse free? Do you want them to die? That's really hateful. Did you get another horse, Drew? This chat is unhinged. Well, it's probably because horsewomen don't tolerate men's trashy attitude and insecurities, and we call them on their stuff, and so they're insecure, so they just say that horsewomen are crazy instead of growing a pair and being real men. RBF and on the spectrum? Well, I'm undiagnosed in that instance, but okay. No, so actually, Naveen Simeonov, I hope I said that right, I'm really sorry. Are wild horses really freely enjoying to be free? Simple answer, no. So an interesting thing about life is no matter what, you give up something. Life costs something. So wild horses get to be free, but the cost is quality of life. A wild horse's quality of life is significantly lower than a domestic horse's quality of life. Good job. She climbed up on the bed on her own for the first time in a while. So a wild horse's quality of life is significantly lower than a domestic horse's quality of life. When a wild horse gets sick, they die. When a wild horse gets injured, they die. They are constantly starving because they don't have enough resources, and there are predators, so they live in constant worry of being attacked. On the other hand, domestic horses sacrifice that freedom to have guaranteed food, water, protection, a vet, a farrier, care, attention, and unfortunately, we've kind of over-babied them. We need a little bit more of that wild grit back from those wild horses, but no, wild horses don't actually have it easy. Like people seem to think that if we just put wild horses back and let them be free, they'd have a better life. No, they would suffer and they would die. Unfortunately, domestic horses would not survive in the wild. They would live a miserable, terrified existence before dying painfully, which is perhaps one of the cruelest things you could do to a domesticated animal. I'm trying to read. Well, Yellowstone isn't necessarily the compass for realistic equestrian knowledge, but you know what? We'll just run with it. Sure. Do I speak horse? Well, yes and no. It depends on your question. Do I communicate with them? Yes, everyone in that aspect speaks horse. Everyone communicates with horses whether they know it or not. But it just depends on how well you communicate with the horse. So are you fluent in horse or not? Exactly, Drew. A wild horse's life isn't like in the movies. They scrap for food and constantly have to worry about stuff. Exactly. No horse wants to die. I know we joke that horses are suicidal, but they aren't actually suicidal. Yeah, Cocoa Puff, you're right. A domesticated animal wouldn't be used to predators, and they wouldn't know how to defend themselves. So, yes, that is true. They wouldn't. I'm really sorry about that, Sydney. Yes, wild horses were found on islands thriving, not domesticated horses. The domesticated horses, if they were turned out wild, would suffer and die. Again, Barbara, domesticated horses would, you have to think, they've had everything handed to them. It's like dogs, honestly. My puppy would die in the wild. There's no doubt. She would be picked off by a bigger animal. She wouldn't know how to survive. If I just put this dog out on the street, she would die. She would be dead before the end of the night. Because she doesn't understand natural dangers, because she's protected by me. I keep her safe. I don't let her run out in the road. I don't let her go be by a big cat that would eat her in a second. I don't let her go by another bigger dog that's mean, that would kill her, because she's innocent. She thinks all dogs are her friends, and she thinks all cats are her friends. She doesn't realize that they would kill her and eat her. The same is true with domesticated horses. They don't understand. They lack that skill. It'd be like taking Joe Schmo off the street and throwing him out and saying, okay, you're going to go survive. If any of you have seen the show Alone, it would be like doing that to any Joe Schmo. They would suffer and be screwed. If you've seen Alone, comment so I know you get the reference. Pit bulls would die. And they would not look like pit bulls. They would absolutely change. No, it would be cruel to just let horses roam free. Apparently you don't know how to listen. Joe Schmo is real? But why domesticate? Great question. So, why did we domesticate? Simply put, and some people are going to say it's wrong. I don't really care. People who think like that are annoying to me. They are beneficial to us. We domesticated them because they're beneficial. Horses were beneficial to us because we didn't have cars. They were a way for us to transport things. They were a way for us to travel more quickly. Exactly, Gimp. Any house animal would die being left out in the wild. Horses are the exact same. I agree, leave natural life alone. Mustangs are the one that I disagree, and the reason is because of population issues. Because humans screwed around and ruined our ecosystem and removed natural predators, unfortunately now there are too many horses on the wild. We needed to have left it alone and had more natural predators that would eat horses and regulate the circle of life, to sound cliche. When we had something that regulated that circle of life and killed off some of the horses, it made the horses hardier, and there was more grass for everyone to eat. So I do agree, leave natural life alone. The only instance that I disagree with a caveat would be wild horses, simply because wild horses we have to now regulate because we screwed up so much. But I do generally agree that we should try to leave the natural world natural. I have been riding for 11 years. I've just been around horses for like 11 years, and I love them. The horses we save aren't the ones that need to be saved. Why do you say that, Drew? Out of curiosity, you love my satanic spawn that bites me constantly? I mean, my dog. She has a bowl of food. She wants to bite me. Huckleberry, Houlihan, Izzy, and Vinny. Those names are epic, though. Houlihan. Let go. Not cute. Thank you. I'll be yo Huckleberry. Fit check, you don't want to see what I'm wearing. What horse girl cliche do you agree with? I'd have to know what the cliches are. Unfortunately, I'm too immersed to be self-aware like that. Your dog chases your horse? I used to ride with my German Shepherd. Oh, she always wants attention. She's a little attention hussy. The ones we keep saving. Oh, I agree. I agree with that, Drew. I do think we should spend more time. I think, and this is going to be an unpopular opinion, I'm pro slaughter. I think we should legalize it in the US so that it's done humanely, and it would be a great way to reduce horses that are not productive members of society. No, I would not. I mean, I guess I'm not against trying it, but I have no interest in eating horses. I don't think house cats would survive. I think house cats, the majority of them would be gone. I disagree. I think they would quickly become one of the easier prey that get eaten off. Well, that's what you get when you're a jerk. She just flung herself off the bed. Yeah, fair, Barbara. Fair. We probably have all eaten it and just didn't know. They do eat them in France. They eat them in Mexico. Pretty much we're one of the few countries that are against it. I mean, Barbara's not wrong. They're not just for glue. All that jello you enjoy, just saying, in the hospitals, people. Like I said, when I'm uncomfortable, I joke about stuff. Hurrah, Mexico. That's a weird opinion, Barbara. What was my first horse's name? Courage. No, cats survive today because of domestication. They don't survive on their own. They survive because someone takes care of them. Shh. Stop. Chew on something other than me. There, go chew on your pork skin. There you go. Exactly. World's existential foe. Love that name. That's my dog. She would be way too, trusting. She would get eaten. Thank you. There's a whole story behind why that was his name. No, horses are not cheaper than a car. Absolutely not. I wish. No, horses are expensive. So my dog, her name is Noodle. She is 11 weeks old today, and a miniature golden doodle. Julio's good. He's still on vacation. Not all dogs came from wolves. That's factually incorrect. Moonlight's a great name. Hey, bye. Dang. Phone decided to yeet itself. Exactly, Gimp. She's actually been good about not chewing up anything that she's not supposed to have. Other than me, which she chews on constantly. What do you mean, where did dogs come from? They existed. What am I drinking? Coffee. She is pretty awesome. We've been doing some training. She's learning lots of little tricks. But back to our original topic before we got on to the whole would horses survive in the wild and owning horses is cruel by that one weirdo that I put him in timeout for 10 minutes and he hasn't been back yet. So the topic was asking questions, and that is not what I was doing, but okay. I'd say I like horses better. I enjoy my dog, but horses are what I love to do. But I guess I wanted to know what your guys' thoughts are on the whole thing of, do you feel like, oh wait, we were talking about what we think is causing the decline and death of the equine industry. So moral superiority. There is this thing going around where it's trendy to judge everyone else's way of training horses. And if you don't train horses like how they do, you're not a good enough person and you're immoral. I'm moving so I can be comfortable, but yes, the toxic community. And so there's this ideology that if you don't train a horse the way I train a horse, you're doing it wrong. And it was good to talk to you too, Alex. So I think that's a large reason why the equine industry is dying, is because people are now afraid to make mistakes because they'll be strung out on Facebook for a mistake. Oh, what was it, Emma? Also, welcome. I also think judgment without wisdom is another reason that the equine industry is struggling. If you see something, say something, but maybe privately instead of stringing them out on Facebook. You know, like saying, like messaging. Yes, that mentality is what's wrong with the equine industry, Peng. I lost my train of thought. I love when that happens. Oh, so like if you see something, like someone is using excessive, like let's say using excessive force. Instead of just stringing them out, yeah, exactly. Instead of just stringing them out on Facebook, maybe talk to them privately and say, hey, you know, you don't have to be that aggressive with your horse to get the results. Like, we could take it down a notch. Or if you see someone that's tying their horse in a way that will cause harm, instead of taking a picture and posting it on Facebook, go up to them and say, hey, could I show you a better way to do this? Or if you see someone who's tying their rope halter wrong, again, tell them instead of just making fun of them. Tell them. No, don't just go with the flow, because if someone ties the rope halter wrong, they could kill their horse. If someone ties the horse wrong, they could kill their horse or themselves. And then the third one being that you can't ask questions anymore. Thank you. That was my foot. We should be, as an equine industry, it is an industry with such a wide range of skills, talents, and disciplines. So maybe instead of being so judgmental, we should encourage thought and encourage questions instead of making people feel like less for not knowing. I prefer rope halters to regular halters because regular halters break all the time. They break a lot, and I want a halter that won't break. Whitney is in the chat, y'all. Hey, aren't you attacking me? There we go. I know, we have Whitney. We can finally have fun. Noodle over here just attacking me. But that's my latest post that I'm trying to edit. What do you guys think about it? Any thoughts on that topic? Literally the first question I get asked when I started this live 40 minutes ago, where's Whitney? Is Whitney here? I was like, y'all come here for Whitney more than me. I agree. I don't think horses are for everyone. I definitely think there's lots of people who shouldn't individually own horses and should have a trainer or should lease horses because they just cause themselves harm. Noodle and Meatball. Horses don't like you? Feels like you have a biased agenda against them then. But now we have run aground on my topic. What, Whitney? Lay it on me. Tell me the sauce. Drew. Lay it on me, Whitney. What? What? I yeeted her off the bed. I'll be right back. I yeeted you because you're being bad. Then don't be bad. Play on the ground, bad child. Sorry for that brief intermission. What were we talking about? What's your news, Whitney? I gotta scroll. You got to the barn? Yay! Someone named their dog. His name is Drewifer. I love that. You guys are so cute. Well, thank you, Charlotte. So, I've now finished the topic that I had planned for this live. So what do we talk about now? I don't have a cold. What cold? Noodle, what are you doing? She's pouting. She's mad at me. Dang, Drew, Drew, you're aggressive. Let's talk about food. You're good, AK. Okay, lay it on us, Drew. Jesse always pouts. You live in Los Angeles? What's that like? Nice, Whitney. I love that. Cheap popcorn for the win. Noodle, why are you pouting? She is. She's literally pouting. She's quite literally pouting. I have had butter chicken, actually. She is cute. She's just pouting right now, and I don't know why. Well, she normally sleeps on the bed, so that's why it's like, why is she over there? Noodle, what's wrong? She looks so sad. It hurts my heart. She's 11 weeks old. She does not know high five yet or shake. She does know SIT. She does know DOWN. She knows GOPOTTY. She knows up. Well, come here. You can do it. Come on. Come here. Come on. Good job. You're so brave and strong. Are you sad? Why are you sad, honey? Ow. It's no longer cute. Yeah, she's like not getting my attention, so she was upset. You have a husky? Oh, I will never own a husky. They're too independent for me, I think. What up, Truck Dynasty? I do not watch anime. Give me my hoodie! Hussy. McNoodle! McNoodle! Hold on. Ow. She does have toys. Her favorite right now... No, I'm not. Ew. Her favorite right now, she won't even usually let me touch it, is this thing. The second I pick it up, she takes it away from me. The second I pick it up, she'll take it away. She does not like anybody touching her little porcupine. McNoodle is top tier talent. I didn't know there was a new Harry Potter series. Watching football? Nice. I don't have a pedicure, and I would never show my feet on this channel. I get enough creepy comments as it is. Are you biting my leg? Oh, you want your pork chew. I'm sorry. There. McNoodle. I don't have anything against English Cocker Spaniels. But I don't think I would own one of those either. I am also hyper. Which is why somebody literally said that Noodle and I have very similar energy. So I thought that was really funny. She is cute. She's kind of, I don't know. She seems off right now. I think she's just sad. You're funny, Emma. But I don't know. We've kind of run out of... Drew, I thought you had a topic for me. Can I recommend a show or a movie on Netflix? Well, how old are you? Because that affects my recommendations. Quite a lot.
Yeah, McNoodle's having an emo moment. Oh, you're an adult. Okay. Do you like true crime type stuff? What a weird thing to say, Arizona Classics. It's giving jealous. Not really. Oof. I was gonna say, because my recommendation was Baby Reindeer was really good. What is it? Horrifyingly evil, shockingly wicked, something like that. It has Zac Efron in it, and he plays. Is it Ted Bundy? The guy that all the women fell in love with, despite the fact that he was a literal serial killer. I'm neither, Arizona. So before you get that sassy attitude, check yourself. I scare a lot of people. Join the club. You're not trolling, it's fine. I know I'm very scary. Okay, so Courage was afraid of carrots for the longest time. I don't really watch comedies, so I can't give you a good rec. Oh, there was a. What is it? Little Evil? It's a comedy horror, but it's mostly comedy. It's got that tall, skinny guy from The Wall on it. He's super funny. But he's basically the stepdad to this kid, and it's a funny movie. I wasn't scared at any point in the movie, so I feel like it was just comedy with a dark theme. So I really liked that. I think it was called Little Evil, but I'm not sure. I might go work with my horse tomorrow. It depends on the weather and how bad work is. I think it's gonna be pretty bad for a minute, but I'd love to see Noodle in a movie. I have not seen Resident Alien. I don't know what that is. You're Glinda? Aw, that's cute, Drew. Oh, really, Ed? That's cool. I don't know what you're saying, Nico Collins, but good for you. Good for you, Connor. Being brave. We love to see it. I really don't know what to talk about. We ran aground of my topic, and Drew was supposed to give me a topic and never did. And also, where's Whitney? Whitney! Maybe less horror stuff. Look, man, I like what I like. I have not heard of Rally Link. I have not seen Art the Clown. I don't know what that is. No, but that, I wish I knew what it was actually called. It was like, because it was a quote from the judge. Well, now I'm going to look her up because I don't know who that is. You know Whitney is a person, not my dog, right? My dog's name is Noodle. And I'm sure she would love having a partner in crime. McNoodle, the series. Yeah, you can share a Bible verse. None that I know of, AK. No, you're good. I mean, there's no reason you should know that her name is Noodle and Whitney is someone who's been in the comment section for forever, and we all love her, and everybody's obsessed with her. So that's why we say her name a lot. I don't know anything about that new tech, so. McNoodle is currently pouting and moving to try and find a comfy spot to sleep. And sneezing now. Is love overrated or underrated? Both. Because people are individuals and capable of both. I think there's a lot of people who don't put enough value on the love that they do have, and there's a lot of people who think they are loved more than they really are. Emma and Jesse forever. I think you need to check your attitude. Yeah, Whitney, where the heck did you go? We missed you. Yeah, but I think love is both underrated and overrated. I think there's a lot of people who fall into the trap of thinking they are deeply loved when they are just deeply liked. And there's a lot of people who underestimate the love of those closest to them, like their family. I don't know what that means, Alex. Again, I'm not sure what that means, Alex. You're going to have to use your big person words and explain. Pink Pony Club, Emma. Pink Pony Club! I love that song. Love is a choice, not a feeling. And that's why marriages fail today. Oh, Defying Gravity, obviously. Literally, Whitney, I love that song. Have you heard the Plankton version? Tyson hates me for playing that song all the time. I think AK is right. I wish I could. I don't have a way to play it. Because I can't play it on... Well, wait. Let me see if I can. Oh my gosh. Nope, it doesn't work. I tried it, but it kicks out as soon as I switch. I wonder... And I don't have any speakers. I was going to say, if I had a speaker, it might work. But I don't think I have a speaker anywhere. And my iPad won't charge. Again, Alex, you're going to have to explain. We were talking about something, and then Pink Pony Club came up. That is mine. Don't touch it. Is it possible to fall in love without being vulnerable? I'm going to say yes, because again, love is a choice. So real love is a choice, and you can choose to love someone without being vulnerable, but then one has to ask if you really love them. Yeah, we'll do more puppy training soon. I've been trying to do some every day. I love how you make such a baseless assumption, Alex. What do you base that off of exactly? What do I weigh? Since you know so much. I disagree. I think arranged marriages at a time were better than a lot of our marriages today. No, I don't do ASMR. I don't like ASMR. It's gross. You guessed very wrong. But also, you're exactly what I talked about the other night when I went live, when I said that men are cowards and think that they can base a woman's value off of buying them a meal. You're also the same smug bugger who thinks that you can base a woman's value off of how much she weighs or her bra size. So, you are the problem with society. You are the person that is exactly what's wrong with society. You're the insecure beta male who thinks you're a 10 when you're not even on the scale. You judge women based off of their body count, their bra size, and their weight. Why do I respond to the trolls? Because I'm toxic and I like proving that I'm smarter than people. I'm not a saint either, and I don't claim to be. I just have opinions, and I like calling people on their garbage. I personally don't support the culture where women sleep around, but that goes for men too. Men shouldn't be little, I can't say that word on YouTube, but men shouldn't do that either. It's not cute when they do it. I think it's disgusting that we live in a culture where men are idolized for how many women they sleep with and women are shamed for how many men they sleep with. I think it should be just as wrong for either gender, and that the insecure men of these days that judge women based off of their body count, their bra size, and their pant size are disgusting, and they are the problem. It's not about everyone having physical needs, it's about having restraint. That's just my personal belief, but nobody should be sleeping around. That's why we have so many innocent children being murdered. That's why we have STDs more now than ever. Like, people wonder why we have all these problems. You are the problem. Keep your pants on. I'm guilty. I've made mistakes. I've been gross. I've done things I'm not proud of. But I own it. Yes, promiscuity damages society, and that goes for both genders. I think there's a comfortable middle. I think there are a lot of things from traditional things that are very good. I think there are certain traditions that were not good. The blatant sexism and racism that used to be traditional were very bad. On the other hand, the modern feminism movement is very, very bad. The murder of the most innocent of our generation for convenience because you can't keep your pants on is the most evil example of why the modern world is the enemy. But there are things about the modern world that are great. Alex, what is your problem? Is your name Preston? Because that would explain a lot. I should just post the videos of the texts you sent, if that is you. Yeah, he's been trolling. He's why I started this rant on why men suck. I love my man, but my man is a real man, not a coward like Alex. I believe that killing any baby is wrong, so doesn't mean you're a bad person. It means that the thing you do is bad. Alex does want attention. Classic, not getting attention, so he has to get it from somewhere. Yeah, so I believe the murder of any baby is wrong. And their existence doesn't make them a baby or not a baby just because of whether you want them or not. Now, in the cases of medically necessary abortions, those are different because those medically necessary abortions are not actually abortions. The biggest example being ectopic pregnancies. Those are not abortions. The baby would not survive. The baby is already gone. Therefore, it is not an abortion. The abortions are purposefully ending a life because you don't want to deal with a consequence of your action. And the reason I say it that way is because, again, in the case of grape, I think that's one of the only instances where I could say, I understand if you want to, but murder does not make the grape less painful. There have been a lot of studies that prove that women who have been raped and their child, actually, it makes it harder for them after. Exactly, Drew. I mean, that's kind of where I sit on it. No, I've never. No, do not make me president. I do not want that job. I am not educated enough. I am not patient enough. World War III, World War V, World War IV, because apparently I can't count neither. Exactly, Whitney. Or get your tubes tied. Or have him get the snip snip. Either way. And guess what? If by some freak accident you still get pregnant, have the child be adopted. There are really so many reasons to not murder. We got your back, Emma. Always. I do believe in souls because I'm a Christian, which is another reason why I'm very anti-abortion. Because they're a soul even in the womb. It says even in the womb even when you were in the womb I knew you. I knit you together in your mother's womb. It talks about a very distinct, you are a person, you are sentient, you are a soul. You have a life. I will have children. I look forward to it. Don't know when. Depends on when he decides to get it together, but I mean, that's another option, Scott, I guess. Scott, you can remove comments. True. Spitting facts. I laughed. I thought it was kind of funny. I didn't mean for this. I try to keep politics off this channel. That's not what this is about. We're about horses and puppies and fun things, not rage-inducing things. Because I'm a different person when I talk about that stuff just because I have a very strong, I care a lot about kids. I care about a lot about children. I think they are a gift. And I think there are so many women who suffer and struggle so hard to try to have children and never get to have that blessing, and it is heartbreaking. So, Whitney, what you tell them is that if they want to follow the science and be the group of science, scientifically, a baby cannot be a parasite. It cannot be of the same species as you. A parasite has to be another species. You not wanting the consequence of your action does not make it a parasite. It is the same species. And their argument is, well, they say something like, well, they can't use my body, or that they're just flushing a clump of cells, but it's a clump of cells that's separate DNA, and therefore that means it's another person, which means that if you do kill them, you are killing another person. And that's totally fine, Whitney. You don't have to have kids. Like, my sister, great with children. And she doesn't, or didn't want kids. Yeah, I just went through and removed a bunch of people. So I currently have one horse. His name's Julio, but I'm looking at possibly selling him because I just, I've put a lot of work into him. I fixed him. I made him a lot better, but we just don't click, and I really want something different, and I'd like to have a horse that I can enjoy. What should you do if your guy best friend is leaving you on red? Live your life. I mean, like, what do you mean, man? Like you're talking about him. Is he just a friend, or there's no guarantee that I'm selling him. I'm tired of having a horse that I don't enjoy. Animal rights. Don't start that. Don't start that. It's gonna be a whole nother rant, and we don't need more than one rant in the night. I think we've already had 2 rants tonight. Drew, spittin' facts. Thank you. Send him to me. I mean, where you at, Emma? He is 5. He came from a really abusive situation. We have gotten him healthy, but we've had 3 rants. It's rough. Pennsylvania. If you drive to get him, you can take him with you. I don't care. I do not care. Horses do have feelings. What's your point? Like, if you think the horse cares what person owns them, they don't. They just care that they're getting fed. Some horses do. This horse does not. When you say, so when I say we don't click, I just mean like there's a lot of horses that I am excited to work with and we really get along and we have fun together, and we just don't, me and Julio don't have that. Jesse has huge feelings. Trust. Okay, Whitney. What, you mean to eat the space between? I probably would, but I have no desire to. Nice, AK. Okay, that's awesome. More coffee so I can be aggressive. I like to read. That's what I do. Like, I just finished, what is it? Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. I like Brandon Sanderson. I like Name of the Wind. I like to read. Oh, I'm sorry, economics. That's hard. Nice. Turtles are kind of cool. I think Bielsa Noodle is out. Which one? The one I just read? It's a book by an artist named Sarah J. Maas. It is the 4th or 5th in the series. It's a really great series about a female assassin that has a really cool backstory. See, you have a fan. See, Whitney has a fan club. But yeah, so she's an assassin and it follows a story. It's just a really great series. Wow, what an inappropriate thing to say. That's awesome, AK. I actually wanted to try mounted archery, but I haven't done it yet. It's on my list of things to try before I die. Yeah, if you like romance, it's kind of a romance and adventure. If you like romance, I would recommend the series A Court of Thorns and Roses. Was pretty good, heavy on the smut, and after you finish it, you kind of look back and see the holes. Brandon Sanderson is a really great artist. I've read the Mistborn trilogy. I just read, what's it called? What is it? The Way of Kings. Way of Kings is really good. I'm waiting to get the second one in that series. Name of the Wind is really, really good, but they haven't finished the series yet, so I'm going to save you the heartache. Don't read it unless you can cope with the fact that there is no ending. Have a good night, AK. But I think this is the longest we've gone live in a long time. I haven't read that one. I'll have to look into it. Steven, if you hate reading, I would suggest just trying different books. I hated reading for forever, and then I started reading to talk to Tyson. And so I read the book that he was reading, and then I actually finished the series before he did. Oh, thanks, Jacob. You read Dr. Seuss? Hey, man, read what you like. If you like Dr. Seuss, you hit up that Dr. Seuss. My favorite music artist. That's a tough one. I haven't read Hunger Games yet. I need to. I like Maddie and Tay. I like Mother Mother. I like Corn. I like, there's a song called Bears and Wolves. I like Pink Pony Club. You read Stephen King? Good on ya. I haven't read any of his stuff. I feel like I'm too much of a coward. I haven't read Hunger Games. I need to. I've read Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit. A River Enchanted is another good book. I do sometimes. There's a lot of people that are crummy in the comments, but I have a lot of great people in the comments, so it makes it worth it. I haven't read Maze Runner, but I've seen some of the movies. Maze Runner, yeah. Let's see, what else have I read? I'm trying to get into, there's the House of the Dragon or whatever. No! See, Whitney literally has an entire fan club. An entire freaking fan club. I just got 5 Broken Blades, and I'm gonna read that. The Blade itself, I started reading. I've thought about reading a book. Oh, see, I started reading Divergent too. With short novels. Yeah, go ahead and scroll through all the comments of people going, no, because of you. I'm trying to think what else. The Mistborn trilogy is so good. You have a NAR club, literally. What did I do? I'm trying to think. I have so many books at my parents' house that I need to bring to the apartment and put on the bookshelf. Well, what do I look like, Sophia? I'm gonna give you a hint. What do I look like? There are 2 options, okay? And I know I kind of look like both, but I'm gonna let you guess. I think it depends on why you're reading. I am reading... Did you really, Emma? That's awesome. So if you're reading simply to enjoy a story and you don't care for immersing in the world, then yeah, reading is kind of pointless. But if you are reading because you like to immerse in the world and live in that world, then I think reading is far more purposeful. You can tell far better of a story and include more details with a book versus a movie. So I think, actually, that movies are far less productive. You're guessing he, him? I am a he, him. Thank you for being the only one to notice. So I actually read books. I don't like the audiobooks. I like the books. Now, I haven't tried many of the audiobooks. So, what, Whitney? Lay it on me. Lay it on me. What do you need? As though I'm going to be any good helping you, but I'm going to try. I do talk fast, sorry. Yeah, we can be friends. No, of course. Favorite book, the Mistborn trilogy. Let's go, Whitney, speak! Oh, I don't know beaches. I mean, I know Silver Beach is really good. I haven't ridden the horse this week. I'm hoping to go tomorrow, but we'll see. It just depends on the weather and how bad work is. I'm gonna try to, though. My favorite country music singer is probably Maddie and Tay, if I had to guess. Silver Beach, I haven't been to a lot of beaches. I've only been to one beach, actually, in my life, so. Also, happy early birthday. I don't know who Mac Miller is, sorry. Oh, in October. Okay. 15. You're still so young. Ah, yes. The ignorant, insecure beta male is back. Good night, Eco. Dang, we have a young audience tonight. It's a little concerning. Right now, we're just hanging out and talking life. We were talking about books. I don't eat Big Macs, they're gross. I mean, you could say there are beta horses. Really, it's just whoever moves their feet first in the hierarchy. Why are we doing this live? Well, earlier we were talking about a post that I was going to write and talking about how in the equine industry you can't ask questions anymore or you'll get lampooned. And then we went on a rant about insecure beta males because Alex is a disgusting sexist prick who thinks that a woman's only value is determined by her bra size and how heavy she is and if he can sleep with her after a date. And then we went on a rant about something else, and now we're talking about books. No, you haven't told me about your neighbor. Wait, that he pew-pewed at the barn the other day? I haven't made the post yet. So I put it together, and then, I'm gonna reread it a couple times. I know, Alex is very insecure. I mean, I could show you how not heavy I am, but I'm also not insecure. Also, I have an entire modeling account, so I literally have an account doing modeling, so. But I stopped doing it because I was worried it would draw attention, and I have a boyfriend, so. Which one that I already posted? Horse girls are wild. Oh, and we had a rant about insecure men who say that horse girls are crazy, but it's really just that they don't tolerate the garbage that most women do because horse women are tougher and they don't tolerate the garbage that men do. I like suspense and horror movies. No, I know, Jay, but it reminded me of someone said crazy and nuts earlier. It just reminded me. That's how my brain works. It randomly goes, oh yeah! It's amazing. Oh yeah, and we talked about love. Thank you, Eco. You're really sweet. No, Jay, I know. It just reminded me of the other person. I think you mentioned that, Whitney. I am a horsewoman. Oh, my post on here. I thought you meant my post on Facebook. I was gonna say I haven't posted on Facebook in a minute. Oh yeah, so I posted under that because it was on Facebook, and I posted under that saying, so they asked, like, what tells you that someone doesn't know a lot about horses, and I said, if they say the horse is always right, and it made someone really mad. Exactly, Emma. Wait, what message, Whitney? I'm so confused. My chat is really, like, laggy. Is Alex still here? Our little troll for the night? See, I've never read a horror book. I feel like I would get more scared from that. I have seen Halloween. Actually, funny story, my first date with Tyson was when we went to see the new Halloween movie, and I couldn't watch any of it because I was so scared. Wait, what am I scrolling up? I see, wait, did you see my message before that? We had to put a horse down the other day. Yes, those ones. What about them? I do have a horse, yes. I was to say it didn't show up, so YouTube might have taken it down. Because we love horses, and to us horses aren't scary. That's where dog. Yeah, Noodle's taking a nap. Who's my Karen? Alex right now. I do own horses. I just call him a scraper. I like Indian food, actually. How much does what cost? Seriously, Whitney? That's insane. Oh, well, the cost of the horse can cost anything from $125 to $500,000. I mean, I don't care. Alex is just an insecure little man. But I think he left. I currently only own one horse. Emma, if I could give you a hug, I would. Have a good night, Tony. I'm sending a hug. That was me sending a hug, in case that wasn't clear. Here. Have a noodle to comfort you. She won't do anything, but she's trying. We should do trivia. Maybe tomorrow night we'll do trivia. It depends on if I ride Julio or not. McNoodly. Tell us, Emma. Noodle is very asleep. No, I didn't. You just said they're just disgusting people. So if you said anything else, it got censored. There's a kitty who throws turds. That's hilarious. Well, welcome back, Tony. What a weird comparison, the space between. Okay, YouTube censors anything and everything except the inappropriate stuff. Well, Whitney, why don't you just comment it under another video and I'll see it? Because for some reason, the comments under my videos, they're a lot less picky. I mean, you can keep trying, but they'll censor anything and everything except the gross people. I'm fine, Eco. I'm just here. Oh, Noodle. She wants her dad. She's so sad that he's not here. Yeah, goofy YouTube. Your brother got in trouble? What'd he do? A very possum stream. She didn't go to the barn today. I have Saturdays and Sundays off. And so he is at his parents' place, so well, on Friday she did good. Friday she got to meet a new friend, that big fluffy white dog, and she had a great day. Whoa! I have so many questions. Also, why are they harassing you? I would love a warm bath and massage, yes. He does need to propose. He needs to get on it. I would lose it. I'd be so happy. But it's fine. Is he really? That's funny, Emma. So they're literally harassing you just because you exist? That's crazy. We've been together for 2 years. Our anniversary was January 8th or 10th, I forget. So, we've been together 2 years, which is crazy. The first year was all long distance. Second year was pretty much all together. Thank you. We'll see. He has trauma from a girl who played with him and was a piece of garbage. So, I get it. It's just hard. A poopsicle? That's insane, Whitney. He's trying to eat his poopsicle. Love that. So, should we do a live? I might have been about to say that, Drew. Okay. I might have. If you knew what she did, you'd think it too. If you're having second thoughts, I would communicate what's wrong and ask her what's going on and consider couples therapy. But honestly, if you're not attached, just break it off. She did play with his heart. That's what I'm saying, Whitney. Like, I would ask first. I would say, hey, like, what's going on? We had a really good thing going. Is something wrong? Like, do we need to talk about something? And then, if she's struggling to communicate her needs, but you feel like you have a connection with her, maybe try couples therapy. But also, don't be afraid to cut the cord. Am I engaged? No. Sounds like a personal problem, Matt. Queen McNoodle, that's right. It's a promise ring. He struggles with, so someone said doesn't sound like unconditional love. People are incapable of unconditional love because we are imperfect. I'm Western. I don't do English. I respect English, but it's not my vibe. People are actually incapable of unconditional love. That's why we love animals so much, because animals are capable of unconditional love. They love you for who you are and not what they think you could be. People always have some sort of ulterior motive. They want something from you. They love who they think you could be. So people are also imperfect. So they're incapable of unconditional love. So also it's kind of unfair to ask someone who's been traumatized after loving someone with their whole heart to then give unconditional love to the next person, because I am the person that he started talking to immediately after her. It is what I want, but people are incapable of giving unconditional love. The only person who can give unconditional love is, in my estimation, is animals and God. Wait, what happened that I'm missing? No, humans are incapable of unconditional love. Humans pretty much, when they show love, are either looking for something, no, I'm just factual. Less is more. Like I said, the humans are incapable of, my Instagram is the same as my YouTube handle. It's Courage in the Saddle or Sidetracked. No, it's actually a people problem. To say it's a woman problem is very sexist and proves that you are the problem. People are not capable of unconditional love. Exactly. It's unrealistic and unreasonable. Even mothers can't offer unconditional love. If their child murders somebody, their love then is dependent on protecting that child from their mistake, but it does change how they love them. I didn't have a last person. Tyson is my first partner. I'm speaking facts. You can claim you've experienced unconditional love, it's just factually you haven't. Again, factually you have not. The example is extreme, but it is a point. Humans love selfishly because we are selfish creatures. I would not love with all your heart. That's how you get your heart broken. So, it's funny that you say that. about how in Italy mothers die for their children, blah, blah, blah. Somebody that I know who recently became a mother, we were talking about, would you go to jail for your kid? And she said no. And I was like, I'd go to jail for my kid. I'd go to jail for my kid easily. Like, there's just some things that I will hurt somebody over, and if you hurt mine, I'll hurt you. Again, that's really ignorant. Less is more. Like, it's just a fact. People are incapable of unconditional love. You can love someone a lot. My sister's at home. I need to have her on here again. Like, you can love someone a lot, but you do not love unconditionally. Because at the end of the day, you have to define what unconditional is. Would you love someone if they murdered? Would you love somebody if they raped? Would you love somebody? I'm saying all the words you can't say on YouTube, aren't I? Good job, Hannah. Like, there's just so many things. You don't understand what unconditional love actually means. And that's the problem with the English language these days. The English language has dumbed down every definition. It's like saying, oh, I love pizza. No, you don't. You like pizza. It tastes good. You don't love pizza. You wouldn't lay down your life for pizza. That's crazy. Like, love is a strong emotion. Like, love is a choice and an emotion, because I talked about that earlier. Love is a choice, right? We choose to love people. I choose to love Tyson. And I choose to love him when it's hard, when it's easy, when it's fun, when it sucks. Like, we're in kind of a low spot right now where we're both kind of out of sync. I still love him just as much today as I did when we were doing great. I love him just as much when he didn't have a car as when he does. I love him when he pays for a date. I love him when I pay for a date. My love for him doesn't change because of that situation. But you can bet your bottom dollar that if he murdered somebody, my love for him is going to change. Like, no, Whitney, say it. You always have good things to say. Less is more, you're giving butt hurt. Oh, somebody said maybe it depends on the crime, blah, blah, blah. If my kid did a crime, they'd need to do the time for character's sake. However, and this is where I'm like, Tyson's going to have to hold me back. Like, if my child, I'm not convinced my child's going to go to a schooling situation where they'll be around other losers. I want my kid to have actual good friends, which is why I want to homeschool. He wants to school them publicly or privately. But if someone bullies my kid, he's going to have to hold me back, because I will hurt your kid if they hurt my kid. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm going to be the mom that tells my kid, you don't hit them first, but if they touch you, you make sure that they don't get back up. Like, don't mess with my child. I will hurt you. Whitney, did you ever say, hey, we all feel dumb sometimes, Emma. I feel dumb all the time. Why, space between? If he never proposes, it's not okay for you to stay with him forever. Why? That's not anyone else's choice but ours. Exactly, content creator. Exactly. Whitney for president? Support. Okay. That's really sexist and ignorant, John. I guarantee I could beat you in a fight. Like, just saying. I can pin down an 800-pound calf while it's having its balls cut off and a blazing iron put into its butt. I'm pretty sure I can beat you. I mean, also, I train 1,000-pound animals for fun, and when I get kicked, I say, well, that was a bummer, and I keep going. I'm just saying that someone doesn't have a place because of their sex is very sexist and ignorant. Like, I'm sorry, but even Tyson has said the things that I've been able to do are a little bit terrifying. And if you've ever seen Tyson, he's a large male. If anyone can whoop my butt and put me back in my place, it is that man. And you know what? We have wrestled, and he's like, I've seen how strong you are, and it's a little scary. If you hurt my kid, I will absolutely beat your kid up. 100%. No doubt. So you better make sure your child acts appropriately. Because if you don't teach your child, I will teach your child, and you will not like it. So that's a really hard question, Julie. It's a good question. Do you think that women can do the same things as men? Yes. Except for inseminate a female. No, my mom broke a hairbrush on me. I got taught. I also got taught how to handle losers and bullies like you. You're just an insecure little man who's sad that a small woman could pin you down while you're being branded and castrated. So can women do the same things as men? To an extent. Yes and no. So could I? I'm trying to think of a good example. Could I work on an oil rig? Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to find a good way to say it. Women can do pretty much anything that a man can do, but some things men do better naturally. Some things women do better naturally. And I think that's the half of the equation that people forget. There's a lot of things that men suck at. John is proof of that. He sucks at being a man. He's afraid of a small woman. And he's mad that I could beat him. He's mad that I, as a woman, am doing what is biologically engineered in me. It is my biological drive to protect what is mine. That is a very natural thing for both men and women. There's a whole, somewhere there's a book, it's a really good book, and it talks about the woman's job is to protect her children and to go to hell and back for her child. No, it didn't, Whitney. However, it is the man's job to see the outside, to see the other person's side, and basically protect them from the wife. Because, yeah, no, it didn't send Whitney. The drama is pretty much that if people say garbage things, I'm going to call them out on it. And John can't handle the fact that he thinks women have no right to stand up for themselves physically or their children, and I think they do. And he made a sexist comment, and I proved him wrong, and now he's butthurt. That book is in the Bible. Pretty much, yeah. I mean, like, as a woman, it is my job to protect my children, and I will go to hell and back to fight for my kid. And it is my husband's job to be the intercessor. He needs to hear and see my side of like, look, this is my kid and we need to protect them and take their side. And he also needs to see the other person's side and say, here's what happened and here's what's going on and here's why this is a problem. And then he has to be the intermediary. It's a sucky job. Husbands have a really sucky job. Like, The Bible literally calls them to be Christ. They have to be willing to die for their family. You know, everybody talks about how women have it so hard because they have to submit and, you know, listen to the husband. Men have to be willing to die for their family. Let that sink in. I don't know a lot of men that would say, I will die for my family. I'd die for mine. I would die for my sister. No trouble. Wouldn't even think twice. I'd die for Tyson. Wouldn't even think twice. Because I will go to bat for my people. That's who I am. Right, but we don't all die prematurely. You know, like, I suppose if you view it that way, not a big deal. I don't have a husband and a kid yet. I treat Tyson like we are married, but we are not married. Again, just being a little sexist, Vinny. So gross. Whitney, are you telling me you want me to shut up? Do I wear the pants in my relationship? No. We make decisions together. Because it's a partnership. Nobody's disagreeing with you, undercover Mexican. That's true. Men do historically go to war and die for their country. In majority. Oh, I'm ready to get married any day. We can go to the courthouse tonight. I'm ready. I'm waiting on him. I didn't say you shouldn't. I said we can't. And also, I didn't say you can't love them without your whole heart. I said you can't love them unconditionally. There's a huge difference, and that's where being specific in your language is important. I love Tyson with most of my heart. I don't believe in loving with your whole heart because I think your whole heart should belong to God. But I love Tyson with a lot of my heart. I sinfully love Naomi with all of my heart because I'm fallen. But I don't love unconditionally. I don't believe people are capable of that. I am ready to die for them, no matter what. Those are two people that I would die for. Doesn't mean that they would die for me. Doesn't make that any different on my side either. That's how love works. It doesn't change because they wouldn't for me. I still love them just as much. Aw, Drew, that's sweet. No, it's not called unconditional. Can a horse love unconditionally? Animals love unconditionally. Animals do love unconditionally because they're not sinful. What is this question? Do you wear a shirt in your relationship? Sure, I'm going to say yes. It's because of what time it is, Whitney. No. It's not my job to protect Mother Earth. I mean, I care about it, but that is not my job. I have not tried avocado ice cream. Yeah, I think it's because it's later at night. There's still plenty of spammers or crummy people in here, though. Yes, sexist Vinny. I do the laundry, I do the dishes, I clean. I also make more money and pay for the entire building, place where we live. I bought our dog, and I helped pay for his vehicle. So, here's a better question. Would he fold my clothes? Would he do my dishes? It's incredibly sexist of you to pin something on me just because I have boobs and a vagina. It's disgusting, it's illogical, and it's moronic. The idea came from, so here's where it came from. It didn't originally start with sexism. It started with the original household job. The man would go make the money and the woman would stay home and raise the kids. Now, we don't live in that world anymore. Most people in general, now both parents work. If both parents work, both parents do the chores. So, to pin it on me simply because I have boobs and a vagina is very sexist and disgusting and proves how shallow of a human being you really are. Murder on the chessboard. Why are you asking so many questions? I have a partner. No, we're equal. You're just disgusting. So you seem to have this idiotic mentality that the only thing that a man can contribute is finance, which is equally as sexist. He doesn't provide as much financially. He provides other things. I know it's a crazy concept that people can be more than one-dimensional, but I'm going to tell you something, and it's going to rock your world, Vinny. People are complex and unique, which just means that they don't fit into these little itty boxes that you seem to think they do. No, I'm not shallow like you, Vinny. I don't respect someone for money. Unlike you, I have value. Currently, the topic is hating on Vinny because he's a sexist piece of trash. That's awesome, Leviticus. Not sure why you're bringing it up, though. Why do I need to define a gender role? We live in a world where gender roles are a thing of the past. Like, literally, tell me why we need to have gender roles. Explain it right now, and then I'll give you a definition for a gender role. Explain to me why gender role is a thing anymore. We live in a world where both sexes have to work to be able to afford life. What happens when kids grow up fatherless or motherless? Thank you. Some kids adjust to it rather well, but a lot of them do suffer. It creates some dysfunction in the family, as well as in the child. We see this a lot in certain communities where violence and theft are more prevalent, and it is because they lack a model that is a positive model in their life. If they grow up parentless, it's often very detrimental to their life. I'm glad, Whitney. Sometimes I worry that I get, wait. I didn't know you were fatherless, Drew. I'm really sorry. That's really hard. So, do you mind talking about that a little bit? Or you totally don't have to, but how do you feel like that's affected your life if you feel comfortable sharing? Exactly, content creator. I was gonna say, if any of y'all have experience with being either missing a parent or not, I'd love to hear your opinion, because obviously your opinion is more valuable than anything I have to say. I'm fortunate enough that I do have both a mom and a dad, so I can't really speak on that. It's helped for the better or worse. When I was younger, it made me sad going to parties. Yeah, that's really hard. It did, yeah. Well, and that is the one thing that I have noticed in some of my friends that don't have one parent or the other, is they become stronger because they have to. Yeah, that's really hard, Whitney. I'm sorry about that, Drew. We had some real... I'm sorry. Well, Emma, you came back at a really sad topic. Froggy! Well, I was getting ready to end the live because it's late. I gotta go to bed, guys. An amazing shower. It is very sad. Well, I don't know. What do you want to talk about? No. Look, I'm gonna give you until like 9:45. That means you have 30 minutes. We've covered a lot of intense topics tonight. Absolutely, Drew. You have to grow up so much when you're missing one parent, because you have to kind of take on those responsibilities. All right, Emma, how old is Jesse? Don't get me started on socks. I will go on rant number whatever this is. He's 20? I didn't know he was that old. Have a good night, Alex. I was going to say, I will lose my mind if we talk about socks. Well, that's weird for you to ask, Vinny. Especially when I'm already an adult. How do you feel about socks then? I think that she is very ignorant and is using her horse to get attention. I think it started out innocent and now she's purposefully filming bad behavior. And you can argue, oh well, he's a horse that's autistic, which by the way, we have no studies proving autism in horses. And second, autism is not an excuse for bad behavior. And saying that it is honestly disrespectful to anyone who does have autism. I know lots of autistic people. I work with autistic people, and they are very mature and react very appropriately. Like, she's making excuses because it's easier to just say some excuse. Like, she even showed a video of her riding at a show and thought she was like hot stuff. She couldn't get on the horse. Like, she had to like leap to get on him. He won't stand still. I don't understand how anyone can support socks. I genuinely believe if anyone supports socks, they've never had a real horse. Right, Drew. I work with autistic people, and it's not an excuse for bad behavior. Aw, Whitney. He's so untrained. No, you can ask space between, because if you're not a horse person, you probably don't know who Socks the Stallion is, so it's not entertaining for you. So I think that truth is truth and perceived truth is knowledge. Truth is independent of feelings and is simply fact. Perceived truth is facts that you are aware of. Yeah, I do feel bad for the horse on some level. Yeah, I hate the girl that owns him. It is really sad. What is truth? Well, you're gonna have to narrow the question down, buddy. Oh man, Whitney's changing her profile picture. Well, have a good night. He does look really underweight. It's genetic. What? It's genetic. Thank you, Velvet. I mean, factually, horses are not people, so incorrect. I can see your messages, Kentrell. Yeah, it's genetic. The noodle is snoodled and sleeping. But then that would mean truth is fluid and truth is not fluid. So I don't know about that, Drew. No, she always does the nar. She does it when I say I'm going to end the live. No, I got that. I just don't know enough. I'm not informed enough to speak on the topic. I'm assuming there are probably I know you can have a drug dependent child, and so I'm assuming you could probably have a child that's like dependent on alcohol, but I don't know. But I'm pretty sure that it's just genetic. I'm leaving in about 30 minutes. I have to sleep, y'all. I have needs too. But I'll probably go live tomorrow night, either for horse trivia or dog training or horse training, hopefully. It's 9:19. Oh, okay. We could do trivia tomorrow night. I believe Down syndrome is less chromosomes, but I'm not sure. Nice, Whitney. Oh, is it one extra chromosome? See, this is why I don't speak on these things, because I'm not educated enough. Huh. That's interesting, Drew. Naomi, they thought had Down syndromes, but then she didn't. That's funny, Emma. That's very interesting, Drew. Oh, we've covered a lot of topics tonight. Probably, this live is probably going to get taken down. Ask away, Drew. Nice, Whitney. I'm from northern Indiana, southern Michigan. Egypt? What a cool name. I didn't say I was against gender roles. I said explain to me why we would need them, and you have yet to do so. I'm still waiting, by the way. Explain to me why we need gender roles and what the purpose is. Why is one thing defined by a sex? If you can explain that, I will give you a definition of a gender role. I gave you a very simple exchange. No, you asked a question. I asked you a question that you need to answer. If you can't answer it, then you don't have a right to put that on somebody. Again, define why we need gender roles. I'm waiting. Did I go to college? No. Because of what I do, there's no reason for me to go to college and waste money. You know, there's no good colleges for horse training, and if anyone tells you there is, they're lying. There is no better experience than going out and doing the dang thing. Just go train horses. You think you're playing chess, Billy? You are not. When did I say men and women aren't equal? Oh, I've heard of vitiligo. Yeah, no, my sister's going to college. She's the smart one. I have read the Bible. You plan on going? What are you going for? See, and that's something where college is very valuable. You know, like, that's something where having schooling is very important. Drew, I felt the same way. I said the same thing. If I ever save enough money to start living on my own, it will happen. Pray, be patient, work hard. You'll get there. I'm still waiting for a good explanation on why we need gender roles. If anyone wants to chime in and help him figure that out. That's awesome, Drew. Yeah, so there's horse training colleges, yes. And they are, in my opinion, a scam. Schools where you learn veterinary sciences and such, great. Horse training college, scam. No, I comprehend it fully. I'm waiting for you to own your own point and make a point, but you can't do that. That's really awesome, Drew. Hands-on experience is one of the best ways to learn. And that's totally a good thing, Drew. Like, you could do that. I just think it serves very little purpose unless you're going to use medical science in some way. That's cool, Froggy. What about, do you have any interest in being a vet? No, I'm waiting for you to answer my question that you still haven't answered. When you grow a pair and answer the question, I will answer your question. That's how an exchange works. So, I would recommend taking lessons, Timmy. Take lessons, lease horses, go to clinics. Those are all great ways to learn more about being an equestrian. Content creator. At least someone can answer the dang question, because Billy sure can't. One gender role that is only specific to women, wet nurse. Or mothers. Mothers are a gender role. Since Billy can't seem to manage to answer a question to save his life, there are certain things that only a man and a woman can do. That's not necessarily a gender role. I think what they're implying is certain jobs that only men can do and certain jobs that only women can do, which, no, there are none. Except for sperm donor, egg donor, surrogate, wet nurse, things that are biologically impossible for the opposite sex. But other than that, no. A woman could do any job that a man can do if they can biologically do it. Does it mean that they want to? Not always. Some women do. I know a woman right now that is working in a male-dominated field. She loves it. She's doing great. I know a couple different women that are like that. But they are the minority. So screw them, Whitney. Pardon my French, but screw them. My parents were very supportive, but I'm doing this on my own. Like, you don't need your parents to tell you that you can or can't do a job when you're an adult. Have a backup career. That's always smart. Like, if I don't make it as a horse trainer, I'll just go into some sort of like therapy thing because I'm good at that. And I'll help people. That's what I'm doing now. Just, I don't have a degree, but I don't need a degree for the job I have right now. And I don't have a degree for the other job that I would try if I didn't want to do horses. Have a backup plan, but pursue what you love. Oh, you want to be a vet, Timmy? See if you can go volunteer at a vet, just like Drew's doing. Volunteer your time and learn as much as you can. Do you want to do small animal or large animal? I answered your question, Billy. Unlike you, I answer questions. You apparently don't know how. So what do you mean by an equine nurse, Emma? I'm just curious. That's what I was thinking, Drew. I was going to say nurse or vet. See, and that's awesome, Timmy. I took lessons for a long, long time before I had my first horse. It's just, it takes the time it takes, but those lessons are invaluable. Again, Billy, no one's impressed by you. You couldn't answer a very simple question. It's not impressive anymore. You're right, you don't have to ask if I have a boyfriend. I've mentioned him a million times. Incorrect, Billy. There are a lot of women who are Navy SEALs. Just because you are sexist and ignorant doesn't mean that you are correct. Incorrect, Billy, again. Billy has shown that he is incapable of intellectual thought. Eva, when did you get here? So we're going to put him on a timeout until he grows a little brain and starts thinking. That would be awesome, Drew. I loved being doing trimming feet. It was a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. It's hard on the body, but it's good work. Oh, you want to be a vet at shows? Okay. Yeah, I would see if you can tag along with a vet to learn stuff. Tag along with a farrier because knowing stuff about feet is also going to benefit you as a vet. Well, if they're willing to pay for your education, get an education as an engineer. And then if you want to pursue, you could do both. You can pursue riding and engineering and then move from there. That's awesome, Drew. Yeah, Billy got sent to the corner because he doesn't know how to act like a big boy. Yeah, sorry, Dio. You have to be intelligent to get a reaction. That's awesome, Drew. You're killing it. Like, are you worried just because they're so big? Because big horses in general are easier to deal with than the little ones. Yeah, I got you, Emma. It's fine, Drew. Leroy is a common hater. Thank you, Undercover Mexican. Being an MVP right now. You know, I've thought about tagging along with a vet or a farrier, but I don't have time right now. But I loved working on feet, man. No, Leroy, you've been here before. I remember you. Yeah, I was gonna say right now we have about 40 viewers. Well, so Drew, I'm gonna say something and it's gonna be really unpopular. You have to mess up a lot of horses before you fix them. Like, I've messed up a ton of horses and I don't lose sleep about that because my mess ups are not huge, dangerous mess ups. And I had to do it. Have a good night, Froggy. I had to mess them up. And I've actually made posts about that on Facebook many times. Do you mean medically? Or do you mean training? Because medically, I can't speak on. I know nothing about that. And even if I did, I wouldn't speak on it. But training-wise, you have to make mistakes to learn. I'm very tired. But I have 15 more minutes. I promised them until 9:45. That's what I'm doing. Training-wise, really don't worry about it. Seriously, don't worry about it. Like, yeah, like, or watch others make mistakes is very accurate. Like, you know, just, you're gonna make mistakes. So accept it and make the best mistakes that you can. Like, I remember from the first time I performed in Noel. It depends on your personal experience, Eva. My first horse was a Mustang. I personally recommend it. Especially if you have help. I would say, especially if you have help, I personally think Mustangs are a great first horse, but quarter horses, you can't go wrong with quarter horses either. Like, both are a great option. If you get a quarter horse, try to get a registered one. But Drew, one of the biggest mistakes that I made when I did my first show, training-wise, is that I would hold the horse instead of using giving and releasing, which I know seems like such an obvious mistake. But when you're doing a tight pinwheel and your horse actively hates everyone around him, it's easy to forget. I had to make that mistake to then unmake it, to then also not make it on the next horse. Timmy, the only way you're going to find out if you're ready is if you do it. Pick a good project horse. Pick something that's naturally gentle, that's naturally pretty laid back. Don't go picking an Arabian or a thoroughbred or some fiery turd launcher. Find something that's gentle and quiet, and maybe their problems are pretty minor. Because that's also going to build your confidence. That's going to make you feel more confident when you fix them. And you'll be like, okay, that was okay. Now I can try maybe a little bit more, you know. Who's picking on Whitney? Yeah, I was gonna say you can't go wrong with a quarter horse, or maybe it depends. Just be really picky. Well, I'm about to tell you that I'm gonna go to sleep here shortly. Well, I'd say, do any of them have any experience with Mustangs? Because it sounds like they don't. Mustangs have been the easiest horses for me to train. So, I personally would highly recommend a Mustang. I feel like they're a lot easier to go with, but that's just me. Just be careful, Timmy, but also keep us updated. Let us know how it goes. I love how Leroy is trying to gaslight me into thinking I haven't seen him in multiple lives. Fight the power, gang. Fight the power, Whitney. But also, you have 5 minutes. Because I gotta go to sleep. I have to work in the morning. So sad. Yeah, no, I would highly recommend a Mustang. Just be picky. There is an online auction at the BLM website where you can look at them. Pick one of the horses that's not flying around in the pen. There's not dust flying in their pictures. Just be really picky when you pick one. Or get one that's already been gentled. That's even better. Whitney, I gotta sleep, girl. But if you don't pick a Mustang, that's fine too. Like, pick what makes you happy. But I know lots of Mustangs. Actually, the little Noelle would have been a great jumper. I mean, she kept her knees even when she'd go over a jump, and she could jump really good. You have started something with the NARS, so thank you for that. What do we think? Aw, well then you should absolutely do it, Eva. Just be careful. And if you can get one that's already gentled, I would recommend that. Because if you want one that's going to be wild, you have to have 6-foot fencing, and it's very, very specific, and you actually have to be approved to adopt them. All right, you have 2 minutes. Say your goodbyes, everybody. All of you say goodbye to Whitney and how much you love her. Well, I'm gonna buy another horse once I sell Julio. Vivian, did you change your profile picture? No. Julio is an appendix quarter horse. Bye, Timmy. Good luck. I hope you get something that will build your confidence and that it is safe and takes care of you. No, it was somebody else, Vivian. I was thinking of someone else. Velvet, that's why. All right, good night, everybody. Bye.